welcome to another episode of the Wanna Know Show. I am your host, Javier Perez. This past Saturday, our Knights got back to form, beating the Temple Owls in Philadelphia to the tune of 63-21. Otis Anderson had a career night, rushing for 201 yards and 1 touchdown. Eric Gilliard led the defense with 8 tackles. After a very competitive first half, the Knights took advantage of a 28-point surge in the third quarter to take over the game. This Saturday, our Knights return home for the Space game against the Houston Cougars. Now for some insight on both matchups, here's Daniela Medina from Centric Magazine.
Hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dani Medina. I am a former sports reporter with Nicholson Student Media Today and current editor-in-chief of Centric Magazine, which are both student-run publications at UCF. I'm also a web producer at the Orlando Sentinel. My job as a reporter, is to highlight interesting and inspiring people in the UCF community. And I can tell you with certainty that Aaron Robinson was definitely one of those. He definitely bounced back after getting burned out in the first touchdown versus Temple, and ended with 2 picks. You love to see it. It's also the first time this season we weren't off to a slow start, and we proved that we can be a second half team. This weekend we will see Houston in the Space game. If you were to ask me what 3 things I would be looking forward to that game, the pants, the jersey, and the helmet. Also, the fastest man on earth, Adrian Killens, will be back according to Josh Heupel, so definitely excited to see him, even though Greg McCrae might not be cleared to play yet. We just have to hope that Cincinnati falls down, loses twice, have to beat USF by a zillion million points. And let's keep our dreams of playing the American Championship alive.
Thanks, Daniela. Joining us again this week, we have Kyle Nash, the student of the game.
What's up, everyone? Kumo, Kyle Nash, the student of the game here, bringing you the latest from UCF Knights football. So wouldn't you know it, the game that Knights fans and media alike were the most skeptical of a victorious outcome, UCF sacks the Temple Owls 63-21. With injury concerns going in for the Knights at running back and on the offensive line, by evening's end, it would seem whatever the roster concerns were for UCF, well, those worries were obliterated. UCF ran for a total of 385 yards with 4 touchdowns on the ground. With Greg McCrae out, Adrian Killens also left the game early after scoring a touchdown. But Otis Anderson and Bentarius Thompson combined for 292 yards with 3 touchdowns. Freshman quarterback Dylan Gabriel may have completed only 10 of his 21 passes, but he was still good for 3 touchdowns to the end zone. For those who would criticize Gabriel's completion percentage, don't worry. Even Trey Nixon admits that he forgets sometimes that he is a freshman.
Oh, absolutely, man. That dude's so mature for his age, really. I mean, I don't know if he's even 19 yet, and that dude's so mature just how he handles business. When it comes game time, you can see the look in his eyes. He's ready to go. He's a guy you want to play for, you know what I'm saying?
Most importantly, Gabriel had a clean sheet with no turnovers. The only giveaway was a muffed punt by Anderson, who more than made up for it as the game wore on. Aaron Robinson had the defense's 2 turnovers on the night as he was covering top Temple receiver Isaiah Wright and snagged 2 interceptions in his effort. With this win, the Knights still need help from the Cincinnati Bearcats, who beat them to claim first place over the American East Division. But they find themselves now able to use what I call the Jim Carrey defense.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Unfortunately, UCF fans will have to wait until November 23rd to see if Temple will do their part to help the Knights achieve their miracle comeback and take the American Athletic Conference. Of course, this is Kyle Nash, the student of the game. Find me on Twitter at TheSOTG. Find me on Instagram as the same, TheSOTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. And check out my writings on the UCF Knights on sportsmediapass.com. And check out my podcast, Night Class, on their SoundCloud account. And also, check out my writings for the DolphinsWire.com as I cover the Miami Dolphins and my work with OldSchool101.com and the Orlando Magic. Until next time, everyone, class dismissed.
Thanks, Kyle. Up next, here's Jason Banning with your weekly predictions.
Thank you, Javier. Hi, everyone. It's Jason Banning again. And I'm joined this week by my trusted colleague, Dread. We wish you all a happy Halloween and a safe one too. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed in all of you. You had the perfect opportunity to shred me. My heart prediction was way off. I think it was because you were happy. I know I was happy. In fact, it never felt so right being wrong. 63-21. I think it's fair to say that Dylan Gabriel has turned the corner, and the situational use of DJ Mack was awesome. So, using the trends that I saw with ECU, and now with Temple, I ran another set of 20 scores. Houston doesn't win any of them. This game starts at noon. Why? Well, actually, Javier made a good point. The sun? It's a star. Anyway, Houston doesn't win any of the scenarios I ran, and some of the score examples that I ran show UCF winning by scores like 44-21, 38-12, and the one that stood out to me, which is more like my heart prediction, would be 49-17. In fact, I'm going to use that this week. Look out for my post in the middle of the week. I will have all the math examples laid out for you, and I'll have my math prediction and a better idea of what might go on. But the early runs right now looks like UCF in a landslide. So I'm going to go with that heart prediction, 49-17. Without further ado, back to you, Javier.
Thanks, Jason. Well, you're correct. There really wasn't any low points or anything like that during the game. Obviously, the injury to Adrian Killins is kind of a downset. We wish him a speedy recovery. I think one of the things the team has to work on is just penalties. I understand a penalty here and there when there's a pass interference or something like that, but it's just the extracurricular stuff, the late hits, and the not being in position, like your offsides or false starts. It's just fundamental stuff that I think the team could work on. And I don't even consider that like it was a bad thing about the game. It's just something that we just got to work on throughout the whole season to get better at. As far as what to look for against Houston, Houston's running game is really good. I think that if we can stop Houston's running game, their options in the passing game are not as good now that Derek King is not a quarterback. And of course, the space uniforms. Yeah, it's been a bit disappointing not being able to see Wimbush on the field. I think he could definitely bring something to the mix with his speed, with his passing. I know he is practicing with the wide receivers. I don't have any information as far as like if he's going to be put in the mix. I also assume that yes, with the injuries to Adrian Killins and Greg McGray, that he would definitely be a good player to put in certain situations, especially like short yardage stuff. Thank you all again for watching. Don't forget to root for our Knights this Saturday as they take on the Houston Cougars in the annual Space Game. And tune in next week for another episode of the 1-0 Show. Go Knights!